You will agree with me that real estate has been proven to be the most stable source of passive income in the world. It's not surprising that more than 68% of the world's wealth is stored in real estate. I mean, everyone wants to own real estate, right? About 65% of Americans own real estate, and a good number of them earn rental income from their properties. But when you come to Africa, take Nigeria for instance, less than 10% of Nigerians own real estate, and even when they do, most persons just focus on owning a home they would live in as against using real estate as a vehicle to build wealth. At Jointly, we are building a platform that would help young Africans build wealth by co-owning real estate in any part of the world, starting with Nigeria. But how did we get here? My name is Olisa, and I'm the founder of Jointly. Let me tell you a quick story of how I came up with this idea. In 2017, I thought of earning rental income, and so I spoke to a real estate developer. I wanted to know how much it would cost me to buy a 2-bedroom apartment in Lekki. At the time, a 2-bedroom apartment in Lekki was selling for 40 million naira. I couldn't afford it because it was expensive, and so I asked how long I could pay for the apartment if I wanted to buy it. And they said all I had to do was make a 20% down payment and spread the balance for 6 months. But I still could not afford it. Then I thought to myself, what are my options? Mortgages are expensive and are almost inaccessible, especially in countries like Nigeria. Also, if I had to save to buy that apartment, by the time I'll be done saving to buy it, inflation would have caused the price of the apartment to go up. Imagine trying to save up to buy a 40 million naira apartment only for the price to go up to 55 million naira or even 60 million naira just when you finished saving. And so one day, while sitting in my friend's living room, I thought to myself, what if I could earn 10% of the rent collected from 1,000 properties? Let's do the maths. If the rent was 1 million naira per year, 10% would be 100,000 naira times 1,000 properties. That means I would earn 100 million naira in rental income every year, and I will also benefit from the capital appreciation of the property. This concept is called fractional real estate. And then I thought to myself, if I was having this problem, then a lot of young people will be having the same problem too. That was when I decided to build Jointly. You see, with Jointly, anyone can own a piece of real estate anywhere in the world, starting with as little as $10. And this is how it works. Take this 2-bedroom apartment in Lekki for instance. It currently sells for 70 million naira, and not so many young persons will be able to afford it, especially when you add the additional costs that come with putting the property on the rental market: insurance, documentation and legal, furnishing. Now, when you add all these costs, the total cost of acquiring the property and putting it on the rental market to generate income is 92 million naira. How many persons can afford it? Now, this is what Jointly does. We acquire this property and then tokenize it on our platform by breaking down the total cost of the property into smaller fractions, and we call these fractions property shares. Each property share represents a percentage of the property. For example, if we break down this 2-bedroom apartment in Lekki into 10,000 shares, each share will sell for 9,200 naira and represent 0.01% of the property. Individuals can now purchase as many property shares as possible until there are no more property shares available to buy. Now, let's say Mr. A buys 100 shares of this property, which is 1%, that's about 920,000 naira, which he can buy once or at different times. Whenever the property earns rent, he is paid 1% of the rent received for the rest of his life until he sells his shares in the property. This way, he can earn rent in properties in Lagos, Kigali, Nairobi, Ghana, in the US, and anywhere in the world just by buying shares in different properties. He will not only earn rent from these properties, he will also benefit from the capital appreciation of the properties, which means that the value of his property shares will continue to appreciate as long as the property itself appreciates. He can also buy up more shares in the property if other co-owners put their shares up for sale until he owns a substantial part of the property or even the entire property. This is one way to own properties without breaking his sweat. He can even pass down these properties to his kids as part of their inheritance. And one interesting thing is that you can earn rent in Naira, in dollars, in pounds, or in any currency that your property is listed in. On Jointly, you can also own shares in different real estate projects and earn substantial returns at the end of the project after the property is sold. That helps you get more value from your money than you would have gotten if you kept it in the bank. And anytime you buy shares in a property unjointly, you get a certificate of beneficial ownership, which shows the details of the ownership you have in that property. Unjointly, we invest across different real estate types: residential, which includes both regular residential properties and short-let apartments; commercial, which includes shops, offices, etc., and hospitality. Now, if you want to invest in real estate at your own pace, you want to earn passive rental income in more than one currency, and you want to build generational wealth one property at a time, then you can do that in 3 easy steps. Click on the link below, sign up for free unjointly, and look for your first property and start building your real estate portfolio right away.